Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tashana. Let's get into this. So, hi guys, welcome. If this is your first time tuning in, hi, hello, welcome. Thank you. Get on in here. Please follow us on YouTube at Inappropriate Radio TV. All right, no periodic table or alien talk. However, you already know the creator came through with a message. All right, y'all. I don't know what's happening or what God got going on, but I had to really check and see if I was crazy. I got to download that gas or flatulence, for lack of better terms, is a demon. It's so crazy. It's I know. Just click off. If you're gonna be irritated by me right now, just click off because it's gonna get worse. Okay. All right. So yes, that's what I heard, and it was confirmed. For about the past 3 days, I just kept getting downloads, things that I was watching, things that I was listening to, conversations that I had been overhearing, all alluding to the download, okay, that I received about 3 or 4 days prior, okay? So flatulence, we already know this is gas. It comes out of us after we have eaten something, right? Usually, a food that is high in fiber causes us to have a big buildup of gas, okay? It's a physiological process, and more gas is built up when food is digested, okay? So there are actual gases that are built up in your intestine when you eat, okay? So nitrogen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, methane, sulfur, hydrogen sulfide, which we know smells like eggs, along with sulfur. That's that smell that's at like the beach or something in the air. It smells like rotten eggs. That's from the sulfur. And this is the physiological process that leads to your food being broken down to give it that smell, okay? These gases are created as a result of the food being broken down, okay? And bacteria gets caught up in there. We'll get into it. But methane, y'all, and sulfide, okay? There's a few other gases, but remember, these gases are on the periodic table. We already know they're in the atmosphere. They're in our bodies. We know that, right? We've started touching the periodic table, over a year ago, maybe? Yeah. So, I mean, that's basic knowledge anyway, right? But yes, when they have discovered this, they actually took samples of people's gas and tested these different samples and found these gases in the flatulence, okay? What's happening is, and again, we can Google this all the time. What's happening is we are eating and then we're opening our mouths and then little pieces of gas or air or oxygen, whatever you want to call it, is opened, right? Our mouth is open and then it goes into the tract with the food, and then the air is trying to find a way to get itself out. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you're Muslim, or if you are like an old school Christian, if you're Jewish, if you are spiritual in any kind of way, you already know that opening and closing your mouth is one of the ways a spirit can get inside of you. And I know that this sounds crazy. And then it brought me back to, I don't know the surah. I was actually trying to find it, but I'm recording late and I was supposed to actually put this topic out. Not supposed to, but I could have done it before, but the creator wanted me to sit on it a little bit more to make sure I wasn't crazy. Because I was like, wait, what? This is not making any sense. So, yeah. There is a surah in the Quran that talks about the devil laughing, walking backwards, while farting. Okay, so I knew that I was not all the way. Once I got reminded of that surah, I was like, okay, I knew that I wasn't really like bugging out when I, was about to record. I'm like, okay, maybe this is actually like a thing, right? So, now, because this is a physiological process, we had to remember that physiology is a combination of what? The body and the brain on a cellular, on a molecular level, as well as a physical, like our outer, it's an internal and an external response. Okay. It's a response. It's an adaptation and a response to environmental changes. Meaning environmental, meaning internal, inside of your body, and external, in your physical environment, right? So you see a car police chase, okay? You'll get a physiological, maybe you'll get hot, you'll get excited, okay? You'll start sweating, and different things are going to occur. But just keeping that in mind, that this flatulence is definitely a physiological exchange, meaning that things are going on inside and outside of the body, okay? And it's causing changes, okay? This is a chemical reaction, okay? So, and it's a study, right, that focuses mainly on your organs and how they like interact with one another. So then I started to sit here and think, and I'm like, okay, God made all of us. He gave us these different organs, these different systems in our bodies to learn about, right? And then we eat food, which is something external to our bodies, and we consume the food, and then we release. But it's not even a byproduct, but we release the gas that we consumed while we are trying to release the waste, the byproduct, the rest of the byproduct, as a result of eating, okay? It's totally normal. We know that it's not a sin. But if you're a spiritual person and you pray a lot, then you may have encountered a lot of flatulence while you are praying, right? And it may be a burp, or it may be like coming out the back, right? While getting spiritual downloads, while doing anything spiritual, okay? This is when you are raising your vibration, okay? And I think it's funny because these high fiber foods are the foods that get things moving out, okay? Raisins, beans, things like that. And this is when I started thinking, like, it's getting interesting. This is your body's way of releasing something foreign, or something that's in excess, because it's not really foreign, right? Because our bodies are familiar with these gases, but the food is pretty much foreign, okay? The air coming in is like sneaking its way in, because you're not deliberately collecting the air, you're deliberately collecting the food, right? The air is kind of just coming in by way of your movement. Now, obviously, there are other things that put gas in us, right? Like there can be different health conditions that make people gassy. Obviously, your diet, smoking, chewing gum. I'm assuming laughing, right? If you could get gas from smoking and chewing gum, I'm assuming laughing with your mouth open would also be another one of those things. So, when we start to put that into retrospect, and then you think about how much gas you start to get when you are engaging with the spiritual realms, okay? This is a physiological change, and it is a spirit or an energy that is trying to release itself from you, because your body is changing in frequency. Remember, food is a vibration. So when you are eating, the gas is coming in with the food. Your body is undergoing this vibrational change as you eat, okay? Whether it's high in vibration or low. It doesn't matter which direction, the vibration is changing in. What's going on is a change, right? This flatulence is your body's way of saying, I know that there is an energy that I did not welcome inside of my vessel. And I know it sounds really weird and crazy, but if you were to just come a little bit more familiar with the scriptures, you would be able to follow me here, all right? And I'm not even telling you to like go read the Bible or the Quran or anything like that. You can use your own free will to do anything. But if you are familiar in any kind of way with any of these sources, right, that go into spirituality and spiritual wisdom, you would know that flatulence is important in spirituality, okay? And this is mainly why you have to excuse yourself when you pass gas, because number one, it's not really, you can hold it, but you don't really have any control over initiating the fart or really stopping it. Unless you want to hold yourself up. But this is not really something that you're controlling. It's your body doing it. It's an automatic response, right? And this is why you excuse yourself when you pass gas, because you are releasing an energy, a trapped energy or a trapped frequency that's trying to find its way out, and it's toxic to the environment. So if you're in close proximity to someone, I know this sounds so crazy, but yeah, there's actual spiritual meanings that are connected and related to flatulence. And again, there's a religious, portion, and then there's a spiritual portion. If you are well versed with any of the sacred texts, then you definitely know that you know what I'm getting at here, okay? If you actually look up or look into the spiritual meaning of flatulence, then there's a lot of connections to it being correlated to nature, okay? Things being unexpected in your life. Doesn't have to be a bad thing, okay? The Bible even makes a lot of connections between passing wind and, the book and prayer. And then in Islam, it's not like it's haram to do it, but it is definitely, preferred that you try to avoid. You have to make wudu if you pass gas, okay? So I think that within itself is a telltale sign that it is definitely a spiritual thing happening, okay? And even in some countries, it's actually considered a crime to pass gas in the presence of other people in public. Like, you can actually go to jail. Like, you can be charged. Like, it's that serious. And in Islam, you're definitely not encouraged to laugh when someone is there's a whole entire hadith that goes into it. You have to just look into it because we're definitely running out of time. But yeah, gas is a demon, y'all. Now, challenge me on this, please, because I'm not even gonna lie. This is one of the first topics that I've been reluctant to going over, because I'm like, God, what? What do you have me doing now? What is this is crazy. Why am I talking about gas? And at first, I definitely thought this was something for me. And this is another reason why I'm like, okay, let me just hold on to this information. But no, this was for the podcast. He wanted y'all to know that there are spiritual connections with flatulence, okay? But y'all, I'm going to end it here. I do love y'all. I hope y'all have been enjoying your weekends. I hope you guys are resting well. I hope you are drinking your water, eating your fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea, because it's free. All right. Love y'all. Peace.